Hello and welcome to my third video. This is my podcast. My name is Cheryl and my podcast is about knitting and crocheting and bookish things and chatter about tea and coffee and other things that interest me. And I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. I hope you enjoy this video. And today is June 8th, 2019, which is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. I don't know how long Worldwide Knit in Public Day has been going on, but there are events all around in all kinds of different countries, bringing knitters together to knit in public. I did not go to any event, but I did celebrate in my own way, which is to just take my project, which is my red lace summer top, and I went to Starbucks, of which there are plenty near me, and I had a sandwich and a nitro cold brew with sweet cream for lunch. And then I got my top out and I started knitting and had a real nice time enjoying the space and listening to the music that they were playing. I even sang along. I couldn't help it. They were playing just a mix of a lot of different things, but a couple standards thrown in there, like My Funny Valentine, and I had to sing along. I really love that song. And yeah, so that was my treat for Worldwide Knit in Public Day. And my Ravelry and my Instagram username is the same. It's Cappuccino 136. I will spell that and put other notes about things that I talk about, things that I think you might want to reference or look up in the information box below this video. I hope that is helpful. I am still not doing links. I just haven't figured that out, and unless I hear that links are really important to any viewers, it's not necessarily a priority for me to learn. But if that is important to you, then please do leave a comment and let me know so that I can work on it. So this June has been really nice, and the summer weather is coming, although we did have some rainy, cool days this week, so we're still kind of transitioning. So here is the current state of my lace top. It doesn't seem like it's gotten a ton of progress probably since the last video, and that is partly because this morning I had to rip out some rows because I dropped a stitch and it started running and went down, and it was beyond help. It was beyond just salvaging a few stitches. I just took the whole piece off the needles, ripped back with abandon about, I don't know, maybe 8 rows or so, and got the stitches back on the needles. So the stitches were now saved and not going anywhere anymore. And then I had a little bit of a mess of a tangle to wind up because I was almost at the very end of the second ball of yarn. And so it was just kind of a floppy loose thing. And then all the yarn that looked like ramen that had just been ripped out. So I had to start winding. Here's what I have right now. And winding and then untangling as I went. That just happens. And I know I could have used a lifeline. A lifeline is when you take a very a fine yarn, like crochet thread is actually perfect for a lifeline. Very thin crochet thread, like this crochet thread, and you put it on a tapestry needle or a darning needle, and then you put that thread through each stitch on your needle so that it'll stay there in those stitches when you move on. And then if anything happens above that lifeline and you have any kind of problem and you need to go back, you can just rip out, no fear. You can go back to that lifeline, and that fine yarn or crochet thread will save the stitches at the point where you put the lifeline, and then you can put those stitches back on the needle safely with very little fuss. Do I think about putting a lifeline in before I need one? No, rarely ever. Did I think about putting a lifeline in after this morning? I thought about it for about a minute, and then I just wanted to get on with my knitting and my life. So yeah, I'm being a little bit reckless perhaps, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's that. And I did start a new project like I thought I would, and it is a crochet project. This is going to be just a little lace accessory scarf for summer, spring. It's from a kit. It's got these beautiful colors and blues, and then this kind of cream color. It's called the Blue Sky Hug scarf. And I got the kit from Nicola, actually, in the same FibreShare swap package. So I am really putting those things to use. And I'm learning a lot of new crochet stitches in this piece. So I'm not a very confident or very advanced crocheter. So I'm learning a lot. I have the pattern in this little booklet, which came in the kit. And isn't that a nice little photo there? So the pattern is in here. It has written instructions and also a chart, which is exciting for me because I am just learning how to read crochet charts. I'm pretty good. I'm good with knitting charts. Have a lot of practice, and crochet charts are very different from knitting charts. So I am I'm just kind of getting a little bit familiar with how crochet charts work. But again, I really like the visual, and it's really helpful for me. So this is a wonderful project for me to be doing. The only thing is that it does take some mental concentration. So at the moment, I do not have any like super basic, just Zen, go just on repeat project right now. I thought about casting on some socks because they are so just stockinette. But I need to slow down on the socks because I can't wear every sock in the none of the other people in my family or friends group is interested in wearing hand knit socks. So they're all for me, and my sock basket is overflowing. I have more socks than I actually need. So before I just blithely just keep going with socks, I need to think about it a little bit and kind of slow my roll until I either find perhaps an organization that accepts donations of hand knit socks, and people will need them, enjoy them, be helped by them, or just figure out someone in my life who would like some hand knit socks. So I think working on that a little bit. So that's where we are in the yarn and fiber crafting. On another note, this week in cooking adventures, I made a Thai style red curry for the first time. Now I did not make the curry paste from scratch. Yeah, no, not from here. I take all the help I can get from the grocery store every time. That's how I roll in the kitchen. But I got a prepared red curry paste and some coconut milk and some fish sauce and vegetables and chicken, and decided to give it a try. We like to get it for takeout, and I thought, well, we love it so much as takeout. Let's see how it goes to make it at home. And it turned out really good. The whole mom, dad, we all really liked it. So we're adding that to part of our regular cooking rotation, which is very exciting because I love Thai food and I love curry. So yay, happy. And tonight I am just baking a little bit of chicken, and we're going to have it with some pre-made ravioli and some sauce from a jar. Yeah, I do get all the help from the grocery store, but I do enjoy cooking and putting things together. Although I don't do real cooking every day, for every dinner. I love leftovers too, and we also sometimes you just need to have a simple frozen thing to warm up. Monday evening, and I am here for a few minutes to record a little closing to this episode. Since Saturday, I have started a new project I am crocheting a pouch for my mom. She asked me to make a pouch to put her daily pill strip in, and she wants to wear it around her neck because she's just been having trouble. She put it down somewhere and have trouble finding it, and this will just help her a lot. So I'm happy to do it for her, although it did take me a few days to actually start, and she had to ask me a few times. But I was just not sure how I wanted to do it. And also, when I had my other projects out, I just kind of wasn't in the mood to do a new thing. I was really enjoying what I had. So, but I did start it after a few days. And it's going really well. The crocheting is going really fast, which I was sure that it would. And once I got going and I had committed to a method, it went really well. I did a little squarish piece for the bottom. I did that in single crochets. Now I'm using United States crochet terms. In British or UK crochet terms, those would have been double crochet. Anyway, so once I had the little square and that I started going around that square with double crochet stitches. That's US double crochet, which in UK crochet terms would be treble crochet. And with the double crochet, it's getting tall really fast. I don't have too many more rounds to go. I have ripped it out to the base a couple times just because I was kind of going quick, and I had added accidentally a few stitches. Part of the problem with adding stitches was at the time I was also trying to do a few rounds of different stitches, like a few rounds of US double crochets, and then a few rounds of US single crochet, and then back to the double crochet, and going back and forth with the different kinds of stitches. And I'm not yet super great at reading my stitches with crochet, so I was having trouble, I think, seeing how they lined up with each other and accidentally adding some stitches when I was going between two different kinds of stitches. But now it's really good. I'm just sticking with one kind of stitch now. I'm doing all US double crochets to the top. Yeah. And it has not been a good week for reading. And I think that's possibly just because my concentration power has not been top. And sometimes listening to an audiobook or reading on the page takes a little more concentration to keep going and follow than just a video on a screen with some audio. Yeah, I did start a book that I got from an audiobook from the library that came in from a hold, and that is So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijeoma Oluo. And I apologize for the pronunciation. I probably butchered it pretty bad. But I'm 2 chapters into that. And so far, I think it's going to be really great. I think it's going to be very helpful for understanding some of the aspects of race and talking about race and being more comfortable. Just being more comfortable having those conversations, because it's not easy and it's uncomfortable. So, and we feel like, oh, I don't know what to say, or, oh, where do I start, or, oh, how do I respond, or, so I think this is going to be a very helpful book. But I'm only 2 chapters in. That's the only progress I made this week. And while I was cooking one night, I did listen to about half hour, 40 minutes of the Leonie Swann cozy mystery, 3 bags full with the crime-solving flock of sheep, which is still delightful, absolutely delightful. But instead of really focusing on listening to a book or spending some time reading, I instead have been watching some rather embarrassing TV. I watched several episodes of The Order. I think 4 or 5 episodes this week in total. And The Order is basically like it's a soap opera with supernatural fantasy elements and conspiracy. There's a magic secret society with all kinds of nefarious plots and dark magic, and there is also a society of werewolves fighting against the dark magic and trying to go against the order. And then there's all the soap opera elements too, because it's a group of college. They're recruiting on a college campus, so there's all the soap opera drama with romance and everything else around college. And yeah, so I'm not sure I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know why I watched more of it this week, but it just felt brainless, so that's what I did. And I am going to put some more photos from this week at the end with a little music. I kind of like that for an ending. I enjoy that on other podcasts, and I like to incorporate a little of that in this podcast of mine. So thank you for watching if you made it all the way to the end. And I hope your crafting, your reading was going well. I hope that you enjoyed the episode, and please have a great week this coming week and enjoy.